Madam Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, I remember standing in front of the press almost 3 years ago, on the 24th of June 2016, the day after the British people in a referendum decided to leave our union. It was a sad day for our union and a sad day for me personally. But we must respect the decision of the British people, no matter how deeply we regret it. As I said back then, the European Union has rules to allow a member state to leave. Ever since the 29th of March 2017, when the United Kingdom notified its intention to leave, the European Union has negotiated in this spirit. Our aim is to ensure that this withdrawal takes place in an orderly way. We want the rights of citizens on both sides of the Channel to be protected, and we want to preserve peace on the island of Ireland. These are things any responsible politician should care about. The European Union and the United Kingdom have a joint responsibility. We have a deal on the table which does exactly do this. The withdrawal agreement that the European Union and the government of the United Kingdom agreed on has in fact been on the table for 105 days now. The European Union is ready and our ratification process is ongoing. I have no doubt that it can be concluded on time. However, as we all know, the ratification has been more difficult on the UK side. This is why the Commission's chief negotiator, Michel Barnier, and I personally have been working extremely hard over the past months to provide the additional reassurances the Prime Minister needs to help her get the deal over the finishing line. Before the first meaningful vote in January, together with President Tusk, I sent a letter setting out our understanding of the withdrawal agreement, in particular on the backstop and our commitment to swiftly negotiate our future relationship. Since then, the Prime Minister and myself, we met very often, at least 3 times in the space of just 1 month, including in the desert of Egypt, by the way. We tasked our negotiation teams to explore additional guarantees and clarifications relating to the backstop, alternative arrangements to ensure the absence of a hard border on the island of Ireland, and additions or changes to the political declaration related to the future relationship that could be helpful to all of us. Michel Barnier met 4 times in the space of 1 month with the UK's negotiator Steve Barclay and the Attorney General. The EU has spared no energy, time or commitment to clarify, reassure or explain what the withdrawal agreement is and what it is not. We left no stone unturned. Our mind has always been open, our work always creative, and our hand has always been outstretched. It is in this spirit that today the Prime Minister and I have agreed on a joint, legally binding instrument relating to the withdrawal agreement. This instrument provides meaningful clarifications and legal guarantees on the nature of the backstop. The backstop is an insurance policy, nothing more, nothing less. The intention is not for it to be used, like in every insurance policy. And if it were ever to be used, it will never be a trap. If either side were to act in bad faith, there is a legal way for the other party to exit. The instrument which sets out these details has legal force, while fully respecting the guidelines of the European Council. The guidelines the European Council has unanimously agreed. It complements the withdrawal agreement without reopening. My team and I have been in constant contact with our Irish friends over the past days and over the last hours. The Taoiseach would be prepared to back this approach in the interest of an overall deal. I have just informed the President of the European Council this evening and asked him to recommend that the European Council endorses this joint instrument, subject to a prior positive vote in the House of Commons on the withdrawal agreement. In politics, sometimes you get a second chance. It is what we do with this second chance that counts. because there will be no third chance. There will be no further interpretation of the interpretations and no further assurances on the reassurances if the winning vote fails tomorrow. Let us be crystal clear about the choice. It is this deal or Brexit might not happen at all. Faced with this stark reality, members of the House of Commons have a deep responsibility and a fundamental choice to make. I was following day after day, sometimes minute after minute, the debates in the House of Commons. Interesting debates, and all the views which were expressed in the debate have to be respected. I am convinced that the members of the House are patriots, and rightly so, but I'm as convinced that the members of the House want to have a good future relationship with the European Union. If the withdrawal agreement gets the backing of the House, the European Union is ready to immediately begin preparations on our future relationship. The European Commission's negotiation team is in place. Our tireless and extremely skilled chief negotiator, Michel Barnier, will be at the head of this team. We are ready. The United Kingdom may be leaving our union, but it will not be leaving our hearts and minds. We are bound together by common history and geography. Our personal ties, friendships, relationships run deep, and this will never change. It is with this in mind that I hope and I trust that today's meaningful legal assurances will be meaningful enough for the meaningful vote tomorrow. Let's now bring this withdrawal to a good end. We owe it to history. Wir haben lange verhandelt, schwierige Verhandlungen. Wir sind meterweise, manchmal auch millimeterweise aufeinander zugegangen. Ich bin fest davon überzeugt, dass die Vereinbarung, die wir heute getroffen haben, der einzig gangbare Weg ist. Depuis mars 2017, nous avons négocié d'arrache-pied pour trouver l'accord que nous avons trouvé aujourd'hui. Mais il reste que c'est un jour triste pour l'Union européenne. Mais en démocratie, il faut respecter les choix du peuple. L'accord d'aujourd'hui est le seul possible. Thank you.
Prime Minister.
Thank you. Last November, after 2 years of hard-fought negotiations, I agreed a Brexit deal with the EU that I passionately believe delivers on the decision taken by the British people to leave the European Union. Over the last 4 months, I have made the case for that deal in Westminster and across the UK. I stand by what that deal achieves for my country. It means we regain control of our laws by ending the jurisdiction of the European Court of Justice in the UK, regain control of our borders by ending free movement, regain control of our money by ending vast annual payments to the EU, the end of the common agricultural policy and the common fisheries policy for British farmers and fishermen, an independent trade policy, and the deal sets us on course for a good future relationship with our friends and allies in the EU. A close economic partnership that is good for business. Ongoing security cooperation to keep our peoples safe. The deal honours the referendum result and is good for both the UK and the EU. But there was a clear concern in Parliament over one issue in particular, the Northern Ireland backstop. Having an insurance policy to guarantee that there will never be a hard border in Northern Ireland is absolutely right. It honours the UK's solemn commitments in the Belfast Good Friday Agreement. But if we ever have to use that insurance policy, it cannot become a permanent arrangement, and it is not the template for our future relationship. The deal that MPs voted on in January was not strong enough in making that clear, and legally binding changes were needed to set that right. Today, we have agreed them. First, a joint instrument with comparable legal weight to the withdrawal agreement will guarantee that the EU cannot act with the intent of applying the backstop indefinitely. If they do, it can be challenged through arbitration, and if they are found to be in breach, the UK can suspend the backstop. The joint instrument also gives a legal commitment that whatever replaces the backstop does not need to replicate it. and it entrenches in legally binding form the commitments made in the exchange of letters with Presidents Tusk and Juncker in January. Second, the UK and the EU have made a joint statement in relation to the political declaration. It sets out a number of commitments to enhance and expedite the process of negotiating and bringing into force the future relationship. And it makes a legal commitment that the UK and the EU will begin work immediately to replace the backstop with alternative arrangements by the end of December 2020. There will be a specific negotiating track on alternative arrangements from the very start of the next phase of negotiations. It will consider facilitations and technologies, both those currently ready and emerging. And the UK's position will be informed by the 3 domestic groups announced last week for technical experts, MPs and business and trade unions. Third, alongside the joint instrument on the withdrawal agreement, the United Kingdom government will make a unilateral declaration that if the backstop comes into use and discussions on our future relationship break down, so that there is no prospect of subsequent agreement, it is the position of the United Kingdom that there would be nothing to prevent the UK instigating measures that would ultimately disapply the backstop. Unilateral declarations are commonly used by states alongside the ratification of treaties. The Attorney-General will set out in legal analysis the meaning of the joint instrument and unilateral declaration to Parliament. Tomorrow, the House of Commons will debate the improved deal that these legal changes have created. I will speak in more detail about them when I open that debate. MPs were clear that legal changes were needed to the backstop. Today, we have secured legal changes. Now is the time to come together, to back this improved Brexit deal and to deliver on the instruction of the British people.